everyone, welcome to Full Range Fitness with Kelly Range, the podcast that empowers you to take charge and jumpstart your journey to awesome. We are broadcasting live on the End Resultz Radio Network from the Perimeter Roofing Studio inside the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson Hotel in Stone Mountain, Georgia. And today I am joined by my guest, Michael Pringle, who is the owner of Max Muscle Sports Nutrition in Stone Mountain. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good. Are you nervous?
Not at all.
Okay, cool as a cucumber. I love it. Me either. Wink, wink. Well, let's get it started. I want you to tell everybody about yourself. Let's just go ahead. Personal introduction, and then we'll move on to the professional side as well.
Personal?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
My name is Mike Pringle, and I am the owner of Max Muscle Sports Nutrition here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. I've owned the store for 10 years now. Actually, this year is our 10-year anniversary, so kudos to everybody that has helped us stay in business. So it's a great, I just am so honored that we have been able to be in business this long and have the customer base, because that is the best thing in the world, to have customers that we had in year one come and see us in year 10.
Yeah, that was maybe me.
You were one of them.
Yeah, two or three.
Yes. Your kids, they were crawling around on the floor and everything, and now they're, not crawling.
Wow, now they can take the protein.
Yeah, definitely.
Now they take the protein powder. I love that. Well, we've known each other for a while.
Yes.
And like you said, I've been to your store before, back when it was over in Snellville.
Yeah, in the Avenue or the shops now.
Right.
Yes.
Very cool. And then now you've moved all the way out to Stone Mountain.
Yeah, next to the LA Fitness gym, which is kind of pretty cool.
Convenient.
Yeah, convenient. Yes.
I like it.
Yes.
Target market.
Exactly.
Good job.
Exactly.
Very cool. All right. Well, why don't you tell us, now that we know you a little bit, how you got into this business of supplements, how you became an owner of a Max Muscle location, and really, why did you choose that?
Well, when I was looking for different franchises, I was involved in another franchise prior to this one. Well, let me back up a little bit. When I retired, I used to play football. So when I retired the first time, I was looking for a franchise or a business to get into. And I looked around at all the different franchise opportunities, and I ended up getting an Amco transmission shop. So
wow.
I got an Amco transmission shop, knew absolutely nothing about cars. I mean, nothing, except, car keys, put them in ignition, put the foot on the gas and go. And I knew where the brake was. I didn't know anything about cars, but I did. I got in, I jumped in anyway, and was in that for like 4 years. Hated every minute of it.
Oh.
Not a very happy place to be. Everybody's mad because the transmissions break. So we were successful, but I wasn't enjoying myself. So I started looking for another opportunity. I looked at McDonald's and looked at some other things, but I said to myself, I want to be involved in a business that I actually like, that I actually can contribute and help some people. And Max Muscle came along, and it was a perfect fit. I was somebody that worked out, religiously. A former professional athlete, so I that's what I did. I just worked out all the time. I knew a lot about working out. I knew some about supplements and what have you. And I always said, if I can be paid to work out and talk about, sports and fitness, that's a good thing. And Max Muscle was enabled me to do just that.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
So you went from cars to sports nutrition.
Cars to sports nutrition, yeah. But it fit me a whole lot better.
Sure.
I was able to not only help with people that are just trying to lose weight, but athletes in general, which I love working with the athletes, and especially the young athletes, the high school people. We and especially being in Georgia, and if people didn't know, Georgia is kind of football crazy, right? So, so the high school dads and the high school moms would come to the store, and they would be looking for supplements for their 12-year-old child or what have you, and they'd be asking for things that they should not have been asking for.
Sure.
And, it was, and I felt real good that I was able to, steer them in the right direction, make them feel comfortable, and assure them that, the recommendations that we were giving them were something that was going to be beneficial and age appropriate for their young kids.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Because I do think people are steered in the wrong direction very often. And that's the cool thing about you and what I love about you and why I continue to do business with you, because you're very honest and you're very open and you always give the best advice, even if it's not the advice that the client wants to hear, because the truth is not always what people are wanting. They like a quick fix, or they've read about something or saw somebody was doing something on social media and they just want to walk in and do the same thing, but it's not a cookie cutter type of situation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I've lost customers because I end up telling the truth. Sometimes it's like, customers will come in and say, we'll say, how can we help you? And they'll say, I need to lose, give me something that can help me lose 30 pounds. And I, have, a month to do it. And, I'm kind of flabbergasted because I don't know what else to say. And I say, I wish I had something like that, but, I can explain to you, what we can do.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose 30 pounds, but let me tell you what you can do. And, sometimes they, are kind of, I'm going to go somewhere else where they can pump me up. Sometimes people actually come in there and they want to have the person that they're talking to agree with their thought, that it's actually going to happen. But I found that, it's not going to happen. We can make it happen. This is how we need to do it. Let's do it and address it like this, ABC, do these steps, and it will be more beneficial and more realistic for you to go that way. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I can relate to that 1,000%. A, because I own a fitness studio, but B, it's all women. So a lot of times I spend a lot of time with people who really have no interest in doing what it's actually going to take to make the changes that they're talking about.
Yeah.
And that's a hard place for me because I know that I can help them, but they have to want to do it and they have to want to do it the right way.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it's going to be some easy journey and you're going to end up in this place if you're not going to end up in that place. And the time people want to spend asking the same question and waiting for a different answer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, it's not changing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And somebody will give them the answer that they're looking for. It's just unfortunate because they're going to take your money and they are not going to provide you with what you're looking for, and that's a shame.
Yeah, we've had this conversation, you and I, for
a million times
for years. And we want the customers to actually, get real lasting results, and and being honest and saying it takes work is the best way to go about doing it. At least we think so. And again, it's not what everybody wants to hear all the time.
Right.
So it kind of is what it is.
It is what it is. Those are the people I lose sleep over, but I should focus on the other people that listen and do it and have those real results. And that's the good stuff right there.
Oh yeah, definitely. When they are receptive to how we approach it, and one's not different than the other. We just approach it in a different manner. People will want to understand, what's going on, as far as, losing weight. And, there's so much information out there. There's so many places that you can get information, both good and bad. So you have to, kind of break that down and just kind of be kind of hold their hands, if you will, at some point.
Well, I think as a whole, we're kind of past the point of just taking something at face value, because I think social media has completely destroyed that. Because, you get this one snapshot image of whatever it is, and then your brain kind of translates it however your brain is going to translate it, which is going to be different than mine. And then we've got all these interpretations. So you can have one thing that everybody is looking at and 1,000 different interpretations of it. So you have to do your own legwork, truly.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And you have to get information from different sources, and then do what works for you. Because again, everybody's body is different. Everybody is not is not starting at the same place. Everybody is not as healthy as the next person. Everybody does not have the same body type. You might be an endomorph or an ectomorph, and you're not. That's not gonna. So there's only certain things that you're gonna be able to do body wise. So understanding those things are also good as well.
It's important because it helps you set realistic expectations and goals that you can actually achieve. Because one of the biggest things that I see people fail on is that they have these unrealistic goals. They can't reach them. They've set themselves up for failure from the get-go, but they don't even know that. Yeah. So they're trying to achieve something that just really wasn't even realistic anyway, and then they stop because, and I get that, I'm doing all of this hard work, I'm, investing my time and my money and et cetera, and I'm not getting what I want. So a lot of people are just like, well, I'm just not doing any of it. Like, hands in the air, I give up. I know you see that as well.
Yeah, I see that a lot. And when we do our assessments on some of our customers, body fat analysis and things of that nature, one of the things I always say when we're talking about body fat percentage and things of that nature, and when we want them to come back to see how they're progressing, and we tell them what's realistic. And we love to do the body fat analysis at the beginning of somebody's fitness journey at the beginning, because then we can give them realistic expectations. Because a lot of times people have very unrealistic expectations on what their body should be what they think their body should be able to do in a certain period of time. And they base it on arbitrary things like, my 30th birthday is in 4 months, I need to lose 30 pounds.
Right.
Or I'm going on a cruise in 2 months, I need to lose 20 pounds. Okay. Our bodies don't care that you made cruise reservations. Okay. If that's not enough time to lose that kind of fat or gain that kind of muscle, it's not going to happen, because our bodies aren't made to work like that.
Right.
So when we give them a more realistic expectations, then they're more apt to, stay focused and, stick with the game plan and not be discouraged or upset or totally frustrated when they don't hit those lofty numbers in a short period of time.
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite things, and I love how you said the body fat analysis, and we're going to talk about the difference between something like that versus just getting on and off of a scale, that you have in your bathroom at your house. It's important to have those numbers, but I love that you say, especially because I work specifically with women always come in and they have this number. It's always, I want to weigh blank, and they have a number in their head. And you got to get rid of that number, because you have to weigh something. That's what you say. Yeah. And I love that, because you don't think about that all the time, and you want to have this magic number, and it's probably the last time that you stepped on the scale and you felt good about yourself. So you relate to that number as, that's where I was when I felt good about myself.
That's my happy number.
Yeah, that's my happy number. And I want to get back to that happy number. But goodness gracious, we all know that there's life and there's stages and there's different ways that our bodies change, especially over the years. And we're not getting any younger. We're only going in one direction. So it's important to know numbers that are different than just stepping on a scale. So tell me a little bit about the body fat analysis and how important that is when you are really getting serious about a weight loss journey or specific goals, even for an athlete trying to gain muscle, anything like that. Why are those numbers more important than just that baseline, this is how much I weigh?
Yeah. A lot of times when people are trying to make body composition changes, all we have is that bathroom scale. So we step on the scale, we look down at that number is X. So we don't know at that time how much of that X is muscle, bone, water, fat. Generally, we just know that the number is not moving in the direction we want it to move in as fast as we want it to. So, we pick the scale up, we shake the scale, cuss the scale out, maybe throw it away.
Yeah, it can't be calibrated. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah. It frustrates a lot of people, but the number on that bathroom scale is just a small aspect of a much bigger picture. So with our, we have an in-body scale that we use at our store. And what that does is a very uninvasive body composition analysis that provides a breakdown of not only your muscle, fat, and water. So it gives us a lot of information that we need to understand on our body composition changes. A lot of times people can be the scale could be going up, and that can make people frustrated, and especially if they've been working out really well and eating better, but that scale keeps going up and they really know they've been working hard. They'll see that number and they'll get discouraged. But what they don't see is that maybe they, gain more muscle. And as a result of gaining more muscle, their body fat percentage and body fat mass goes down. But they don't see that on the scale. And that is really can be really dangerous, because the person was doing really good and looking at the scale saying, I'm not doing good, and change up everything that they're doing and stop and, and do it a different way. Most people that are trying to lose weight do it. Well, let me back up. When people are doing the body fat analysis, one of the things that we try to make sure that they understand is what we're looking for as far as that number that they have. We really don't care for the most part what that number is. But if we're trying to lose weight, we just want to make sure that that weight loss is efficient weight loss. What is efficient weight loss? Efficient weight loss is when we're losing fat and gaining or maintaining muscle. Anything else is inefficient weight loss. Inefficient weight loss, losing fat and muscle, doesn't last. That's when people do the yo-yo type of thing. Their weight goes up and down because of the inefficiency of their weight loss. What do I mean by that? When we gain muscle, almost 95% of the time, what's going to happen is we're going to lose body fat percentage. We're also going to lose body fat mass 95% of the time. Even if we go through a process and we don't gain any muscle at all, and we just hold on to the muscle, if we're eating better and we're working out really hard, we still have a strong shot 95% of the time to lose body fat percentage and body fat mass. But the opposite is also true. If we lose weight and that weight comes from our muscle, what happens is our body fat percentage goes up and our body fat mass goes up as well. So we go the other way. So let's just say somebody comes in and they weighing 170 and the first time we talk, and I tell them, okay, you come back in a month for a follow-up. So they come back in a month later and they're weighing 160, 10 pounds in a month. That's realistic. I've seen that happen many times. They're all happy because they lost 10 pounds. They come through the door, big old smile on their face. I lost 10 pounds. But if 9 pounds of that weight loss came from their muscle and only 1 pound of that weight loss came from their body fat, that's what we call inefficient weight loss, because basically what they've done, they're lighter. We can pick them up easier, but they're fluffier. And that's kind of a nice way of saying fatter.
It's so true. It is so true. So those numbers are super important. And I love how you explained it. I mean, the information matters. We have to, again, dig a little bit deeper than just that surface level. We've got to go deeper. We have to. And I mean, you're right here in Stone Mountain, Georgia. So if you're local to Stone Mountain, Georgia, then man, you got it made. You just pop over and see Mike at Max Muscle, you know?
Please. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So I like what you said, but I don't like what you said. So I asked you a question on a questionnaire, and it was like, what is one lesson that you have learned over, your 10 years in the industry or whatever? And what you've said that unfortunately, and this is really unfortunate, it is possible to work out consistently and eat healthy for a long period of time and not see the changes aesthetically. That's a little bit discouraging, but I do think that that's where supplementation comes in, right? So you've got this fire, and the supplement's kind of like the gasoline on the fire. So maybe it's time to incorporate some supplements, but also back to that realistic expectation as far as it's not just about what you look like, it's about what's going on the inside.
Exactly. I used to, when I first started doing this, I used to think that when I give them, goals that, I think are realistic, and they come back and they're not meeting those goals or whatever, and they tell me, oh, I've been working out really well and I've been eating better and blah blah blah, and I used to think in my head, she's not working out, she's probably not eating, like she says she's eating, and I used to disregard it. And that was shame on me, because, as I continue to, learn more, and it's always a learning a curve with this, so I never stopped learning. I began to understand that, somebody could be, eating much better than they did prior to, our talk, and working out better and consistently, and still not aesthetically be where they want to be. Unfortunately, that is the case, and that's what I found. But on the other side of that, the good thing is that it is virtually, and although it is possible to not aesthetically change over a period of time when you're doing really good stuff fitness-wise, it is virtually impossible for you to be able to work out consistently and eat more healthy than not, and not be in better shape or better fitness. And that's the most important thing. And that's what people really need to understand. We want to look a certain way, but what tops that is we want to be healthy. And if you're working out, or if you're doing some type of activity, you're more not sedentary than sedentary, and eating, more better than not better. That's not good English, but I said it on purpose like that. It's impossible not to have better heart health. It's impossible to not have denser bones, more endurance, more energy. It might not be exactly everything you want, but it's better to go that route than to say, I'm just not going to try anything, and because you're not seeing it in the mirror.
That's so true. It's so important to take care of your body. Yeah. I say exercise should be like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. I mean, it's maintenance. We have to do maintenance. We know we have to do those things. You wake up at a certain time because you've got to have time to brush your teeth, to take a shower, whatever those things are. We have those things. So we need to program ourselves to think about moving and exercise, especially if you have a job that, requires you to sit for long periods of time. You have to understand you've got to move your body. You have to. And you can't just take in whatever somebody gives you because the food is there, because half of the food that we are able to purchase isn't even food. I mean, you don't even know what it is really. If it comes out of a bag, sometimes you can read the ingredients and not recognize one thing. So it's important to understand that your body is a machine that has to be serviced, and exercise and eating right is part of that journey. So don't get discouraged if you are not seeing everything that you want in the mirror. Keep up with it.
You mean there's no destination?
There's no final destination, right?
If it is, I don't know where it is.
I haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
But we'll keep looking, right?
Yeah. You got to get to the point where it becomes part of your life, like brushing your teeth, but you have to get to a point where you actually like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because you can meet all your fitness goals. You can, have that magic number or your happy number, or you can fit your skirt that you couldn't fit for a long time. And what do? You just stop working out or stop eating, because there would be a point where you're not gonna be able to fit it anymore, because you can't be sedentary. You can't, and that's a good thing. I mean, if we can get to a point and just look a certain way, we would stop working out, and then people would stop coming in to buy supplements. That's not a good thing.
It's not good. So yes, I love that. I mean, if we take nothing else away, it is a lifetime journey. You have a body for a lifetime. You have to take care of it for a lifetime, and it's got to be something. Find what you love. Don't overcomplicate it. Find what you love. Find a place that supports your goals. Find the people that are knowledgeable, that actually are in the field of whatever you're looking for, and take that advice. And you got to get your happy number out of your head.
Yeah, that happy number. One of the things, and I love, and I've worked with your ladies at your gym for a long time, and what I got them to understand, and it's so funny, it's like when we're going over the body fat analysis, or we're talking, and I'm always talking muscle, and I have to explain to them, when I'm talking muscle, I'm not talking about big and burly. I'm talking about muscle tissue, because muscle is the engine, and this is what I try to explain to everybody. Muscle is the engine that burns body fat. Muscle is the engine that does all the work. Okay, so when we lose muscle, it slows our metabolism down. When it slows our metabolism down, it becomes very easy to out-eat our metabolism, and we tend to overeat. So the way we want to lose weight efficiently is to make sure that we do the things like holding on to our muscle or increase our muscle, and not always think the only way to lose weight is cardio. I have to get on the treadmill, and then after I'm on the treadmill for 30 minutes, then I have to get on the Stairmaster for 15 minutes, and then I have to go walk Stone Mountain or something like that. Yeah. And then they wonder why they're not getting results, and they do very little or no strength training at all. And that is one of the things that I love about some of your clients that come to see me even today. And I have older ladies that are your clients, and they have a really good report. They lost weight, they lost body fat, they gained, but they lost some muscle, and they're sitting there and they're frustrated. And this old lady, and she's like, I was like, this is a pretty good reading today, but I lost muscle and I'm not happy about that.
That's right. So we try to completely flip that whole old school mindset of women are to do cardio, men are to lift weights. Like,
exactly.
What? No, that is not it at all. We need to be doing that resistance training. If you can only pick one, even if you love cardio, you got to do the weights. Ladies, you got to pick them up. Exactly. And I still have the people that come in and they're like, oh man, I'm going to get bulky. And I'm like, you're not the one person in the entire world, the one woman that is just going to blow up from lifting a 5-pound weight.
I always tell ladies that, muscle is the engine that burns body fat and all this kind of stuff. I said, but you don't have to worry about getting big and burly. It's hard enough for guys to get big man muscles, let alone females that have less testosterone. And I follow up by telling them, if it was that easy to get big man muscles, you guys will see way more men walking around with big man muscles than you do today.
Exactly.
So,
that is so
true.
True.
It's difficult for us to do it. So
it is. And when you're in the business of honesty, like we are, and telling people the truth, it's hard because we're working against a lot of factors and, money making schemes and that kind of stuff. But there's not a quick fix. You just got to do it right. You got to do it the right way. You got to do it the way that works for you. And there is no final destination.
Yeah. And everything is should be tailored to you. like eating regimens, it's like, everybody has, for instance, the amount of times that you eat throughout the course of the day. You have people that say you have to eat, seven times a day or 6 times a day, or you have other people say you need 3 squares, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or some people might say you need to voluntarily skip a meal, intermittent fasting. And, all of those variations of eating styles have some validity to it, some more than others. But the only one that is going to help you flourish the best is the one that you can do consistently.
Absolutely.
It could be the most perfect eating style and backed by science and everything. But if you can't stick to it, if your schedule doesn't allow it, it's not going to be good for you. We have to find something that fits you with the best information that we can, provide. So, whatever that is, and tailor it to you.
It's awesome. You have given us so much information, and thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. I mean, we're literally right by your store. You're so lucky.
Yeah. Well, come see me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for tuning in to Full Range Fitness with Kelly Range on the End Resultz Radio Network from the Perimeter Roofing Studio inside the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson in Stone Mountain. Please stay tuned for upcoming shows. And thank you so much, Mike. Again, Mike owns Max Muscle in Stone Mountain. He is a wealth of knowledge. And if you have not gone to see him, you need to. So thank you for being here again. And until next time, see you later.